So you're a business owner, and you became a business owner because you wanted to get away from the corporate job. You want to get away from the 9 to 5, 8 to 6, whatever the time frame you were in. You want to do your own thing. Maybe you did a trade for a while and you liked it so much, you saw the opportunity, you jumped out to do your own thing, right? You worked for a med spa for a while. You loved it. You decided to hop out, open your own med spa, whatever the case may be. It always seems like it's going to be so great before you start. And then once you start, you realize, hey, there's a lot to running a business, and you start operating in chaos. My name is Brandon Jones with On Demand Wellness. And what I do is I help business owners get out of the chaos. So I'm going to give you a few tips to help you get out of chaos if you're operating in that now. Now, what does that exactly mean? What does chaos mean, operating in chaos? That means that you don't feel like you ever have the opportunity to do the things you want. So, for example, your entire day may be fixing problems, doing small, medial admin tasks. You may not have time to go to your kids' practices. You may not have time to go to your kids' games. You may constantly be working while you're going to those things, or you don't have time for your significant other, right? Your spouse, husband, wife. You know, it may be that you're skipping out on church. It may be that you're skipping out on family dinners, right? All because you have work you have to do. Like, there's no turning the brain off, right? So I got this big old furry beard right now. I just left the gym. That's one of my pillars. Like, I care about my health and my fitness. Maybe you don't have time for your health and fitness. Like, I always go. I love going to my kids' practices, right? And so I'm catching the end of my son's lacrosse practice right now. And so you have to make sure that it's okay to have some chaos in your business. That's going to happen. But you got to know how to get out of it. You got to know how to structure things so you're happy in your business, and your business can be successful, but you don't have to be in chaos all the time, right? If you just constantly, end of the day, you just feel like, my mind, I can't take anymore, I just have to turn it off, and I need to be numb, and I don't want to be around anybody, that's not healthy. And so here's a few easy ways to help you work through some of that chaos. The first thing I want you to do is, now this is if you're by yourself or if you have staff members, we gotta first assess ourselves. What are the things that we do on a daily basis that really suck all of our time, right? The medial task, like, is it lead follow-up? Like, do we not have a good lead follow-up? And so we're constantly answering messages or talking to our clients. Maybe we have a staff member that asks us 1 million questions a day. So write down top 3 to 5 areas that you really sucks your time. Okay, so that's the first thing. When you write these 3 things down, the next thing I want you to do is you're going to break each of these down. Okay, put them in order from the biggest time suck, right? The one that takes the most time, and then to the second to third, fourth, fifth. Okay. Now you're going to look at that first one and you're going to break that one down and say, okay, if the thing that's the worst, right? The thing that gets you the most is you're doing constant admin tasks. Maybe you're doing all your bookkeeping. Maybe you're doing all your lead follow-up, right? Let's stick with lead follow-up. If you're doing all the lead follow-up and you have no help, if you're by yourself, you need to think about automations. What automations can you do? Can you set up automations with people if you're a service business where they can book with you automatically? Okay. If you have staff members, well, then you need to set them up for success, right? If your staff members keep asking you a lot of questions, well, then you need to lay out their job, in a step-by-step format, which is an SOP, standard operating procedure, so that they have the correct place to go for information instead of having to ask you every single time. And then once you implement that, you need to send them back to that, and then they go to there first before they come ask you questions, right? So that's an easy way. That first thing that you're dealing with, break it down, okay? How can you fix it? Do you have a staff member that you can delegate it to? Do you need to bring on a virtual assistant? Virtual assistants can be very powerful. If you don't know what that is, there's tons of other people in other countries, not just some in the US, but the Philippines, and you can hire them as virtual assistants, and typically you're going to pay $4, $6, $7, can be higher dollars an hour, and they're great. They do great work as long as they have great leadership, okay? So these are easy ways that you can break down these different things that you're dealing with and how you can set yourself up and your team up for success. So that's what I'm going to encourage you to do. Go look at the top 3 things that are just sucking your time, all right? Go break them down and see what you can do. Can you delegate it to a staff member? Can you set up some automations? All right. Now, one more thing I'm going to go over as something I really believe in: set non-negotiables. All right. My non-negotiables are my kids' time, my wife's time, so family time. Okay. Faith, health. Okay. I'm going to make sure that I'm working out. All right. My son practices in the evenings right now, It's a 2-hour practice. I go work out, I come back, and I catch the end of his practice. If it's a kid's game, I never miss. I think in both my kids are, my son's 13, my daughter's 15. I've missed, I think, 1, maybe 2 games. I'll say that 3. I missed 3 games that I can remember, period. And one of them was because I had COVID, or 2 of them was because I had COVID, and the other one was because it was kids playing games at the same time. Luckily, I haven't had a lot of that. Those are some of my non-negotiables. Eating healthy. I'm real big on eating healthy, right? We all got to have non-negotiables. These are things that you're going to do no matter what. And so the second thing I would tell you is create those non-negotiables. Start with a couple, right? Maybe it's one of my clients loves to read books, so it might be reading a book, right? Another one of my clients, theirs is working out. They make sure 3 to 4 times a week they're working out and that they get to spend time with their daughter, right? There's so many different things this could be. Whatever's important to you, make sure even if it's 15 minutes a few days a week that you're getting that personal time where you're not focusing on work in your business, but you're focusing on yourself and your health. So it may be education. That's a big thing for me too. Making sure I have time for education. All right. Last thing I'm going to go through here. All right. We're going to recap here. We are trying to get out of the chaos. Okay. So the first thing, what are the biggest things that time suck you, right? The things that take all that time away from you. The next thing you want to look at is what is a couple tasks that they're important, but maybe they're more admin type tasks. As business owners, we start out typically, if we're solopreneurs by ourselves, we're doing everything. You're the sales rep, you're the bookkeeper, you're doing your own website, your own social media. I mean, you're fulfilling, right? You might be doing your service. Like, you do everything. And then slowly over time, you typically start handing some of that off when you're hiring people or agencies or different things. So look at the top 3 to 5 admin tasks you're doing and see which one of those you can outsource. This is also another great thing for a virtual assistant. Or you may have a team member that has more time, like you might have an office manager or something like that. It's something you can task them with and give them ownership. And same thing, you're gonna break it down, standing operating procedure. If it's all up in here, you need to get it on paper, right? And then you need to see if somebody else can follow that and do that job. Last thing I'll say on that, remember that nobody's gonna be 100% like you. It took me a while to learn that. Nobody's gonna do it 100% the way you are. They may start out, the goal is to get them to at least 70%. Now, over time, they're gonna get better and better and better as long as you are able to articulate how you want them to do it. But also, as they do it more and more, they're gonna improve, right? So, those are the top 3 things I would tell you to work on now. Figure out the things that are the biggest time suck, break those down, see where you can make improvements there, okay? Second one is gonna be the non-negotiables, setting up those non-negotiables so you can do things that you enjoy, that you wanna do, whether it's family, time with your spouse, personal, health, whatever it may be. And that last one's gonna be making sure which admin task that you can outsource. Remember, your most valuable time for your business is typically getting you more business. And so trying to get out of some of these admin tasks is going to open up time to go get more business, but then also your personal time. So Brandon Jones here with On Demand Wellness. I help business owners. I help med spas. We help you get out of the chaos. If you need help, you just want to chat, you can hit me up, Brandon@premieriv.com, BRANDON@PREMIERIV.com. Other than that, good luck. We'll see you out there.